you're seeing this, it's not a mistake. This is a live stream, and I would like to talk about the times that we are in right now. So, before I get rambling on, I will let some people come up in here. Hey, what's good? What's good? Just started this live stream right now, and I'm waiting for a couple people to get in here before I start rambling on. So, how you doing? Where you checking in from tonight? If you do me a huge free favor, smash that like button so this can reach other people. And I'm going to be going into a few different topics that are related to why you clicked into this video. So I hope that you are seeing this, and if you would, go ahead and drop a comment so that way I can see that this is actually going to work, because sometimes I don't get the comments coming through. So if you would, drop a like and a comment. I just now started this live stream. We are almost 2 minutes in, so I'm just going to try to get some people in here and see that everything's working smoothly before I get rolling. Hopefully I can get a comment to come through. If you would, smash that like button and leave a comment. That way I can see that this is going on. So we got some banger topics to talk about tonight. So go ahead and let me know where you're viewing from. Are you in the United States? And I got my dog right here. She's just relaxing by me. Hey, what's good? What's good? How's it going? How's it going? If you would, smash that like button for me so this can reach some other people, so we can get this flowing. I got some really good topics to talk about tonight, and it's related to all the things going on right now. And yeah, there's a lot to talk about tonight. So I'm just kind of trying to get this thing rolling. I just started it. We're 3 minutes in now. All right, I got one like. That's good. That's good. Right on. Right on. Right on. Come on, can we go for one more person up in here? Let's go. Smash that like button, and then we're gonna get this thing rolling. Because I gotta be careful of what's going on with this thing after today. I had a wild experience today, and it's also part of the topic, kind of. So, all right, I thought I had 3 people in here. Let's see. All right, I'm going to get rolling. Smash that like button for me and drop a comment. All right, let's roll. So yeah, we're talking about the times that we're in right now. And boy, is it interesting. Does anybody else seem like, you might have a couple good days, followed by a couple bad days, followed by a couple really bad days, followed by a couple good days. And then, you might have like a few good days after that. And then like, it's just the cycle. Is anybody else feeling that at all? Or is everybody like just consistently, because a lot of it really depends on what you're doing. It really depends on what your focus is on. Because, if you're focused on really trying to help reach other people, with the real going on, there's a battle going on. There's a battle going on, and it's much bigger, much bigger than people think. This goes deep. This goes deep. So let's see if we can get one more like up in here to get this thing kicked off, you know. Go ahead and reach a couple people at least, you know. All right, let's go. Where are y'all checking in from, yo? Let's get this rolling, because, man, I got some topics that have to do with this. Does anybody else feel some things? You know, it's like, oh, you got things figured out. Yes, it's really good. And then the next day, it's all shit. Does anybody else feel that? Come on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I mean? Is anybody else feeling that right now? Yeah. That's a spiritual war going on. You feel me? This is a spiritual war. We are in war. And we can't back down. We can't back down. It gets really hard sometimes. Sometimes we really wish we could. But it's all part of the game. It's all part of the game. Once we realize this, and actually really realize this, it can be hard sometimes, because, you know, you think you might have finally got it. You might have finally reached that level where you're like, oh man, I got it really figured out this time. I know that it'd be up and down so much, but I really got it this time. Next morning, you waking up sideways, like, hold on, what happened? What happened? You know what I mean? Are you feeling that? Do you feel that? Is that relating to what's going on in your life at all? Because it might not relate to everyone, but there's a lot of people going through this right now. And especially if you're on a very spiritual path. The more spiritual path that you on, that the deeper you're into it. And even if you're fighting for maybe a different cause, you're fighting hard. You still be going through the same thing. You know what I mean? It's this up and down, and, you know, sometimes you're like so happy you can't even contain yourself, and then other times you're so mad you're just losing it. Okay, so that's been my life. There's a lot more to it, and that's why I want to talk about it. There's a lot more to this. A lot more. So I was hoping to have some more people up in here, but this is a heavy topic that not a lot of people can stand to listen to. You know, it's sensitive. It's sensitive like Jesus. It's sensitive like God. You feel me? Those are sensitive topics, and that's the stuff I like to talk about. Yeah, I'm on that, you know. I'm on that. I'm a God's warrior. You feel me? I got to speak the real at all times. I have to relay what I'm going through, because sometimes it's really good. Sometimes I'm way up here. I'm like, yeah, y'all, this is all figured out. And then sometimes it's like, what just happened? Snap back to reality. You know what I mean? So that's the spiritual war we're going through. You know, it's really linked to this dark night of the soul. They're really trying their all right now to make us break. They want us to be broken right now. So if you're really on a spiritual path, and some days are just flying high and good, and then you hit a rough patch for a couple days, and it seems like everything's stacked against you. Everything. That's that spiritual war going on. You feel me? There's so much going on with this. So much going on with this. This is their last. They know this is their last chance to try to grip onto us and make us just smash out and do something crazy. That's what they want. That's what they want. Look at what's going on in Portland, Oregon. Look at what's going on in Portland, Oregon. And I got some more stuff to add to that. Look at even what's going on in like Eugene, Oregon. I was just there not too long ago. Sorry, I got something in my eye right now. Nah, it's probably a dog hair. Good thing about owning dogs, huh? God, I got a daisy hair in my eye. But anyway, so what's going on in Eugene right now and Portland is, man, you can do all kinds of crazy, stupid stuff. All kinds of, and bad, like, bad. There's no control over there. There's no control. People just do what they want. And then at the most, they get booked and released from jail. They can go ahead and rob somebody. All that. Book and release from jail. I was booked and released from, let's see, yes, it was Eugene. Now, this was almost 2 years ago now. I was booked and released from Eugene so fast that they actually gave me the $500 cash that I had back to me in cash. That's how fast I was booked and released. They didn't put it on no check. They didn't put it on no card. They straight gave me the cash that I had back. Like 20 minutes later. I was in and out of there in like 20 minutes. Okay? That's what's going on. They want destruction. They want us losing it. Okay, this is all part of this spiritual war going on. And why I'm very cautious about what I do. And sometimes it gets hard because I want to go ahead and resort back to not so good stuff. I want to, but I know better. I know better. I have way too much knowledge of the whole situation going on that I know better. But it's this war going on. You see, it's a battle. So just when you think you got it figured out and you got another way, here's an example. Flying a sign. Things are going good, right? Flying a sign. I don't ever fly a sign. I've never really I've never held a sign like that until recently. Very, very recently. And things were going up and down with it. And then just the other day, like it was starting to finally go good until just the other day. First thing in the morning, somebody starts screaming at me from across the street, saying, "How do I not have gas yet? Da 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 da." Telling me I should just go die, or I should just go. This chick was going off on me, saying some real foul stuff, right? That's that war going on. That's that war going on. You know, you think you're doing everything right for your situation, and then the devil has to come in there and slap you up. You know what I mean? I have over 100 job applications in. So why do I not have a job with over 100 applications in? I just had an interview the other day. I've had like 4 interviews lately, and I still don't have a job. You feel me? So there's a reason. You know, I started working forever ago. I have hardly anything on my record anymore. Like, I have a driver's license even. Oh, I have a driver's license and transportation of my own. Yet I still don't have a job. I have a working phone even. They can call me right now. And they do for the interview. Oh, great. I'm up in there. Yeah, I'm finally going to get a job. Nope, not so fast. I can tell by the time I even get in there. They're like, you're not the normal puppet we're looking for. Whoa. After a couple minutes talking to me, you're not a puppet at all. So I can already tell they've already done lost interest in me. I can't play the game with this puppet because I'm not. I haven't been in years, since before COVID. Before COVID, I started seeing the big picture of everything going on and started talking about it. Got me banned on Facebook. I've been banned on Facebook for like 5 years now. Facial recognition banned on Facebook. That's how real of stuff I was onto. That's how real. They done facial recognition ban me from Facebook. What I mean by that is I tried to create another account. Okay, it went through. Now you got to download Messenger because unless you download Messenger, you can't do nothing anymore. So, all right, cool. There we go. Download Messenger. Ooh, now we got the camera on. Uh-oh. Pink. Oh, now my account has been taken down. Literally. That's facial recognition banning. You can go ahead and try to create a new identity and stuff a little bit, you know. But as soon as you download that Messenger, it was all over. So, you know, I've been on the right path of information for years now. So I just want to put that out there that this is this is the real deal. And the videos that I focus on the stuff that they absolutely don't want you to know get shadow banned so badly that there's hardly any views that come through. I mean, luckily, because I'm starting to get some subscribers now, I'm getting a little bit of views, but nothing like really, if somebody broke down the context, what I'm actually saying in these videos, nothing like I should be getting. Because I'm talking about that extremely sensitive stuff that they don't want everybody knowing. This is like the tools to figure out the game that we're in. You know what I mean? This game that they're having us in right now. And the spiritual war going on. It's another example of it is, you're really focused on not allowing yourself to watch things that influence you in a negative way anymore, right? So, like, whether that's movies that you're more cautious of, or whether it's video games or music, or just not watching the news because that's very toxic. You if you're on a path of growth, you become more aware of what you subject yourself to, or what situations you allow yourself to be in, like what people you allow yourself to be around. You know what I mean? This is all part of you trying to grow. And if you're on the path of growth, that's when the spiritual war comes in. So, you see, if you're just living your life and you're not really interested in anything to, outside of what people have been programmed into being interested in. And I say that just from spit and fact, not to offend anyone. People say, or people get really offended when you say things like slavery or programmed or any of the things that have actually been going on for way too long now. Way too long now. And that's why I talk about it. I care about humanity so much and myself that I want to see a change. So that's really my focus and my mission, is trying to have other people see some of these things. So, there's the normal karma that goes up and down and up and down, okay, until we master forgiveness. And then our karma, mastering forgiveness is the stoppage of karma. So that's how we can start to not have super bad karma come our way. And so that's just one aspect of it. But this war going on right now is on something else completely. Is anybody else that's on this path of growth know about this war that I'm talking about? You aware of anything that it entails? Because it is some wild stuff, You're seeing, here's an example. You're probably seeing a lot of people right now that you didn't think you'd be seeing kind of breaking down. Kind of like all of a sudden not just hitting a wall and not really being okay with anything going on. Adam Calhoun is just an example, just one example. If you just watched his video from just the other day, and that's just one example, please don't, I'm not calling him out or anything. I grew up in Montana. I grew up a crazy white boy, and I rocks with Adam Calhoun. I do, because of that song he made a long time ago about, being a hard worker and all that stuff. Like, that was me. I was currently working on semi-tires. I was changing semi-tires when that song came out. So, doing some big dog stuff. You feel me? So, yeah. But that's just an example. There's many other people out there right now. This is because we're in this transition between the old world that had every part of our life controlled and this new world where we're breaking free of the control. And as we're breaking free from all this, we're going through a war right now to get there. It's not going to come easy. It's not going to come easy. The more that you go through right now, it's just more confirmation that you're on the right path. Because if you're not on the right path, you might not be going through any of this. So I'm just going to put that out there because, there's a lot of people that just aren't at all digging into anything to do with the Great Awakening. Anything to do with it. And out of my observation, these are the people that aren't really going through this. Based off what I have seen, people who are not trying to grow spiritually and really connect with our higher power, if you're not really trying to do that, then yeah, this might not be what you're going through. So don't just take it as, I'm just talking crazy. No, this is what people are going through who are on this path that I am on. And I've been on for a long time. And it doesn't... It comes with so much weight that a lot of times it can be hard to maintain just your sanity sometimes. That's why this is called a spiritual war. It's all out war on your spirit. So that's what we're going through right now. And the powers that have been running this world for far too long have been in cahoots with some higher density beings that weren't good ones. They were bad ones. And these bad ones have been probing us with different frequencies to make us feel a certain type of way. So this really is what I was waiting to say about this. Because, and now they don't even have to just do it with spaceships. Now, I swear, it is being activated through 5G. 5G is a weapon. The truth behind 5G internet is that before they released it into the public as 5G, it was first used by our military. 5G technology was used by our military. This is all part of the war. Okay, and this is very real stuff. I personally talked with someone who was in the military years ago. I actually worked with him. We had the same job. And can't tell if anybody's in here right now. This is some good stuff right here. I'm gonna let it boil on. So, all right, let's talk about 5G. Let's talk about 5G now. Does anybody want to talk about the truth behind 5G? It's kind of been swept under the rug. You heard about it for a little while, but nobody's been talking about it. Hi, baby girl. I love the baby girl. Daddy loves the baby too. So does anybody else want to hear about what's going on with 5G? Because of course now they're gonna of course now nobody's here as soon as I start talking about 5G. Is 5G is that as sensitive as talking about Google? Is that as sensitive as talking about the YouTube algorithm? Is that as sensitive as talking about the president? Can I talk about the president now? Who's going to come in and watch me now? Aww. So nobody wants to hear what me and someone from the military talked about, huh? Somebody who's actually used 5G before, huh? All right, hold on.